things that no one hears and no one sees. What is the truth that we all want from you? You're constantly afraid and always take the blame. With faith I won't fail, I just need a sword. I openly provide and constantly prevail. I'm not a curse but a godsend. The greatest king allows this, set forevermore. My country I adore. Creature here, you tell us lies of things that you have never seen. We know what we can trick you on. You swear to tell the truth, no matter what we prove. With faith I won't fail, I just need a sword. I openly provide and constantly prevail. I'm not a curse but a godsend. The greatest king allows this, set forevermore. My country I adore.
Hello and welcome to Tavern Tales Presents Storytime. This is our 5th week, and we are starting in on chapter 27 today of Heart and Soul Fist. We now know who the big bad is in the story, and how Jane and Andrew are pitted against Krell, the evil pride spirit. Kind of feel like it's pride spirit. Anyway, but where does Star fit into all of this? Guess we're going to find out. We have been extremely blessed with the opportunity to read for you Chris Ng's Heart and Soul Fist. This is a full cast event every Tuesday until we finish, so let's get into it, shall we? And we'll start right here at chapter 27.
It happened when your mother was still a child, Archer says. We're sitting around the fire pit, fixated on the old guardian. Kinoko-san is the only one moving around, serving us mugs of hot green tea and then heading back into the house. I thought it was going to be an easy battle. Spirits of pride are usually pretty simple. They can be very powerful, but they tend to be direct in their confrontations. Furthermore, once you figure out the source of their pride, it can be very easy to leverage it.
I heard about Krell through the usual channels, and I went to see the damage he had caused. It was in Belize. The small town was completely destroyed, incinerated into ash. There wasn't a single building left standing, and everyone was dead. I found out that Krell had stolen a dragon's fire and used it in the mortal world.
Andrew looks between me and Star.
Is stealing a dragon fire a big deal?
Andrew asks. Very, I whisper.
Thinking back on it now, I should have done more investigating before I went to challenge Krell. But the spirits
who witnessed the attack said he declared that he would continue to strike the mortal world until they worshipped him like a god. Spirits like Krell can be powered by myth and reputation. The more people think about him and talk about him, the more spiritual energy is directed his way. I wanted to end his attacks before he gathered any more power. I never thought about how he was able to get the dragon fire, but I had never heard of Krell. If I hadn't heard of him, there's no way he had enough power to be a threat. But I was very wrong about that.
Archer sips his tea.
It turns out that Krell is unique. He has patience and cunning. He's charismatic and able to convince other spirits to work for him. He's content to let his reputation build up in the shadows, slowly gaining power over decades, rather than seize it all at once. Stealing the dragon fire had gotten to his head, though, so he was putting himself more out in the open. I tracked him down, and we battled. I'd heard that he had a nearly impenetrable shell, so I brought a special weapon for the job. A blessed jade spear imbued with so much spiritual energy that it would crack through any defense. Unfortunately, he was prepared for that. It was a harrowing battle. We fought for 5 days straight.
Kinoko-san sticks his head out the door and lets out a tremolo cello sound from his mouth.
Okay, 2 days. But it was the most intense 48 hours of combat I've ever endured. We traded blow for blow, and I was shocked at how strong he was. But in the end, I caught him off guard and plunged the spear into his shell.
He slaps the fist on his open palm. The sound makes Star jump.
Sorry,
he says. Star waves it off. He died? I ask.
I thought so. I was at the last of my energy at that point, and the blow struck true. I had him pinned into the ground, and the jade spear was leaking its energy into his veins. I was losing consciousness, so I used the last of my power to slip me back to the mortal world. When I woke up and recovered, I went back to the battlefield, and he was gone. I never heard from him again, so I assumed that he had been destroyed.
He reaches out a hand and sets it on Andrew's shoulder.
I'm sorry, Andrew. I'm so sorry. I should have done better.
Andrew scoots closer to his grandfather and hugs him.
It's okay, Grandpa. I'll be fine.
How do we stop him? I ask.
I don't think that you can.
Archer says. I think about the spear and the turquoise cracks on Krell's body. He's weakened. His entire body's scarred from the jade spear. I saw it myself. If we can use the same spear again... Archer waves me off.
No, I don't have another one. They're difficult to create. My daughter has two, but she keeps them on her.
But that weak point can be exploited. I know it can, I say.
Maybe it could. But spirits of pride grow with the strength of their legend. He's had decades to tell the story of him surviving a battle with the Guardian, and he's done it without alerting either myself or the Hunter Guardian. He's become sneakier and stronger. Only the Guardian power would have the strength to challenge Krell.
I look at Andrew.
I still don't have any power, Grandpa.
You do, Andrew. It's inside you. You've blocked it off, but it's there.
I don't think I can do it.
I think you can do anything. But I'm not about to ask you to risk your life to correct my mistakes.
The door to the house opens. Kanoko-san is now wearing a huge backpack and is carrying a normal-sized brown pack in his hands. He strides over to Archer, who stands up and takes the pack from the Mushroom Man.
Wait, what are you doing?
Andrew asks.
You already tried contacting your mother through all the usual ways, and she's not here. Something must be preventing your messages from getting through, or she's in a tight bind. Either way, I need to tell her what's going on and bring her back here.
What? No, wait, you can't.
Andrew says, standing up.
You don't have any Guardian power left. You can't travel like that through the spirit world.
Hey, watch it, boy. I may not have the juice, but I have all the experience I need. I still got a few tricks up my sleeve and a lot of favors I can cash in. I'll be fine.
Then I'll go with you.
Andrew says.
That's too dangerous. The spirit world is Krell's turf, and his influence will be greater here. At least in the mortal world, the clans and humanity are around you to protect you. Come with me, and he'll snatch you up in no time, even with your lovely protectors.
Why is he doing this? I asked. I hadn't told Archer about Krell's perspective on the imbalance of the Guardians.
Revenge, I imagine, or just a good old-fashioned power jab.
Archer says. He walks over to me, taking both my hands.
Do you still have that weapon I gave you?
Yes, it's been tremendously useful, I say.
Good. Keep it close. Don't forget, it binds physically and metaphorically. Also, don't forget that nothing is impossible with the Guardian.
That's really cryptic.
I'm an old man. I'm allowed to be cryptic.
You don't got anything more deadly I can borrow, do you? I ask.
You won't need it.
Archer says.
Soft on hard, hard on soft.
I make a face at him, but he's right. In martial arts, attacking a hard surface like a skull with a hard attack, like a closed fist, causes damage to both the attacker and the defender. You can break your hand punching a skull with a closed fist. What skilled martial artists learn is to use open palm attacks on hard surfaces so that you don't hurt yourself. Even better is to use a grapple, or to attack a softer target. If I couldn't punch through Krell's armor, I would have to use the ribbon to keep him contained. Archer and Andrew walk a bit down a path, having a final conversation. I turn to Star. She hadn't said much during the whole story. In fact, she looks distant and pale. I kind of wonder if she's going to throw up. Hey, you okay? She blinks her aqua eyes a few times, then nods.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just a lot to process.
I know what you mean, I say.
There's an easier solution to this.
Star says. She looks around me to make sure Andrew's still out of earshot.
He should just pick one of us.
What?
Krell is dangerous, but he can't take on a whole clan. If he picks one of us, then the problem is solved.
I guess it would be, yeah, I say. I feel extremely nervous all of a sudden.
Bring it up to him tomorrow, if you want.
She says. Okay, is all I can say. Andrew and Archer finish their goodbyes. I put out the fire, though I'm not exactly sure if a spirit fire needs to be put out, and we head back through the door into the house. We cross the pool house and return to Andrew's backyard. I don't know if I feel better or worse, I say.
Mom's coming home.
Andrew says with a nod.
It'll be okay now. I just need to stay safe until Grandpa brings Mom home. Maybe I'll just stay at the house for a while.
That's probably a good idea. In the meantime, maybe Star and I can work on getting our clans to stop being so stubborn.
Maybe.
Star says. She slipped out her phone from her pocket and looks at it.
It's still kind of early. We don't have anything to do right now, other than stay safe and wait, right?
Not much else we can do, I say.
Then maybe you should go.
Star says. Huh? What? Why?
It's still technically my date.
She says, and I feel my heart drop. Damn it, did I get outplayed? Was she trying to get me to agree to let Andrew pick one of us now so that she could get close to the deal tonight? She could close the deal tonight? Should I fight it? I see that Andrew's about to say something, but I hold up a hand. She's right. I should go, I say. I'm still tired from yesterday anyway.
But...
Andrew starts. It's fine. I'll get a ride. Stay here with Star. Do something fun. Take your mind off of it, if you can. He nods. I head back into the house and I find a messenger bag. I get to the front door and I'm halfway to the fence when I feel someone standing behind me.
It's not what you think.
Star says. What?
I think we lost Autumn for a moment.
What
She's
isn't
back.
what I think?
This. Right now. I'm not trying to trick you.
Star, I'm too tired for this, I say. It's true. Between all the planning for Krell and the lack of sleep, I'm not ready to handle more relationship drama.
I would hate for you to hate me.
She says. Her voice is so low, it's almost a whisper. I frown at that. I don't hate you.
Not now, you don't.
I'm not sure what's going on here, I say. She runs a hand through her blonde locks.
Never mind. Forget I said anything. I just want you to know I'm not trying to beat you at this. I'm being honest.
What does your father want you to do? I ask. The question catches her off guard. Her lips tighten. That's what I thought, I say. I walk through the fence, shutting it behind me. I look over at Star.
Damn it.
She whispers to herself before turning around and heading back into the house. I take my phone out and stare at it for a long time. I don't know who to call because I don't know who to trust. I don't know who I might take into the danger with me. I don't know who might betray me. I don't think I've ever felt as alone as I do in this moment, holding a phone full of contacts and unable to pick one to come help me. I put the phone away and I run home instead. Wednesday afternoon, my turn for a date with Andrew. We're sitting in his room. It's still neat and tidy with a white card table, but a white card table has been set up in the center. He's attached this massive magnifying glass on the end of a swivel arm. The magnifying glass has a built-in lamp, and bright white light floods the plastic army standing on the table surface. Right now, he has a tiny werewolf between his thumb and forefinger. He stares at it through the magnifying glass, concentrating intensely as his other hand uses a tiny paintbrush. He makes a small stroke, then lets out a breath of relief. He sets down the werewolf and looks up at me. I'm sitting backwards on his desk chair, leaning on the back.
Is this boring? This is boring, right?
No, not really, I say. I mean, we can't keep going out all the time. I'm going to run out of money eventually. Besides, I don't care what we're doing. I just like being with you,
You're just staring at me.
he says. I like looking at you, I say. He blushes, which is beyond adorable. My heart is pounding, but not because I'm nervous. I'm happy. Andrew switches off the lamp, takes off his glasses to rub his eyes, and slips them back on.
Did Star talk to you?
He asks. I frown. Like, ever? Yeah, she talked to me.
No, about...
He trails off.
Wow, this is kind of awkward to bring up. I was hoping you were going to bring it up.
I can't bring it up if I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just that Star had an idea yesterday. It's a little unconventional. I guess I wanted to know if she wanted to talk to you about it and what you thought.
Andrew won't look up at me, which is peculiar. What could have him so nervous? Okay, Andrew, at this point, I think we're past being shy. I told you, I don't really know what I'm doing with all this relationship stuff, so I've just been charging forward with the truth. It seems to be working so far, so just say it. He nods and takes a deep breath.
Star suggested that maybe I didn't have to choose. That maybe I could be with both of you.
Wait, what? She's serious about that?
She told you?
He asks. Yes, she did, but I thought she was joking, I say. I stand up and pace around. That's,
unconventional.
he says again. Yeah, that's one word for it. I was thinking weird. He shrugs.
I did some reading on polyamory and multiple person relationships. I guess it's kind of possible, depending on what you read and what situation you're trying to create. There's a whole subculture dedicated to it. I actually thought it was pretty interesting.
Interesting enough to want to try it out? I ask. He thinks about it.
I don't know. I mean, I like being with both of you during our group dates. I feel really comfortable.
I do too. It's the first time I've been able to be open about every part of my life to people outside of my clan. I like it, I say. And I like Star as a person. She came to hang out at my house, you know.
So you'd be open to it?
He asked. It was my turn to blush. Geez, I don't know. There are implications to that. It's not all hanging out at mini golf courses.
Yeah, which is why I don't think I could do it.
Oh, I say, letting out a breath of relief.
I haven't told Star yet. but I pretty much decided this morning that I don't think that's going to be my choice.
I don't think the clans would be very happy about that. It'd be from which girl will he marry to which one can get pregnant first.
To be honest, the clans didn't have to do much with my decision. I think there's something...
What? I say. He frowns.
I'm not sure how to explain it. There's just something off. It's a feeling I can't shake. My gut is telling me not to do it, which I know is a terrible reason to do anything.
I don't think so. I think our instincts are really important, and if we feel a certain way about our relationship or our safety, then we should act on it.
Doesn't that just lead to random impulsivity?
He says. For me, I can tell the difference between having a bad day and knowing when something's off. You think something is off, then something's probably off. Let's not forget you are the guardian.
And you think that my feeling might be part of my power?
Yes. Could it?
I don't think that's it. I guess my dates with Star are strange.
Strange how? I ask.
Not dangerous or hostile or anything like that. It's just peculiar. She's really nice and supportive to me. She encourages me to pursue my passions and has helped me talk through a lot of my fears surrounding being the guardian. She's even given me some meditation and visualization exercises to help me tap into the guardian power.
Wow. She's a lot more productive than I am, I say.
Right. But I keep thinking about Krell and how it seems like the spirits that have gone after us keep getting progressively stronger.
Star wants you to get the guardian power more quickly. So does Krell. They're both working at the same time for the same thing, I say.
Actually, that's what I thought at first, too. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that I was wrong. The spirits aren't trying to make me stronger. They're trying to make you stronger.
Wait, what? I stop pacing and I sit back down in his desk chair.
Look at the evidence. I haven't gotten any stronger at all because you keep intercepting the spirits to fight them.
Right, which is why we said that they used the stalker spirits on me to get to you faster.
But why bother sending them to you at all? They fooled all of us with their disguises. Star didn't even know what was going on until you made your move. They could have been more strategic.
It was in their spiritual nature to be direct, I say.
Then why pick those spirits?
I open my mouth to reply, but I'm not sure what to say. He continues.
You said that you couldn't have taken care of those stalkers last week, but now you could. I've been there for every fight. And while you were impressive with the jackals, you were on a different level with the bull. And then that move with the ribbon, catching both stalkers and suspending them on the bridge, that was amazing. Something changed.
I shrug. I didn't have the ribbon before. Your grandpa gave that to me.
Yeah, and the bull?
I got lucky. My brother was nearby and taught me an emergency technique at the last second. It kind of gives me like a big power boost. It'd be an even bigger one if I could get it better under control.
So you've gotten a lot stronger. And if these attacks were intentionally designed to improve your abilities...
He says. But why would Krell do that?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me either.
He says.
Either he has a motive that we don't know about, or someone other than Krell is sending the spirits.
Or you could just be completely wrong, I say.
I could, yeah. It's just an observation, that's all. Something that's bothering me.
And because of that, you don't want to be with Star? I ask.
Oh, I mean, it's not directly related. My point originally was that Star is super great for me, but she's more like a therapist or a life coach or like a really good friend. She doesn't feel like a girlfriend.
This is pretty surprising. I'd have thought that Star would have all sorts of tricks and moves and flirting skills I didn't have. I would have thought the Star could have him whimpering at her feet if she wanted. And I guess she still could, powers or no. So why wasn't she? Oh, what does that even mean? Like, feel like a girlfriend? I ask. I'm not really looking for an answer, just filling the space with words while I think about everything Andrews asked.
When I'm around her, I don't feel like I do when I'm around you.
Our eyes lock. The mood shifts, but there's a table full of plastic monsters between us. We must have the same idea at the same time because we both get out of our chairs and step around the table. We're standing less than a foot apart from each other, eye to eye. I feel like a girlfriend, eh? I say, smirking.
Yeah, I think so. You're pretty great, Jane. You're strong and clever and honest and beautiful.
Stop, I say instinctively.
No, you are. I like pretty much everything about you, and I want to know more until I know everything.
My heart is pounding in my ears and I feel flushed. I can't believe he's saying all these wonderful things to me. I think we're getting closer to each other, each of us subconsciously closing the distance. Star could offer you a lot, I say. She's gorgeous and rich and influential. You could have any kind of life you wanted.
You're right. I could. Except a life with you in it.
I reach out my hand and lace my fingers in his. We're so close now that our breath is intermingling. I want to kiss him.
Are we going to kiss?
He asks. It's so adorable that I can't help grinning. Yeah, if you want to.
I do.
I shut my eyes. I'm so happy in this moment. I can't believe that someone so interesting and wonderful has feelings for me. He said so many nice things about me, but there are just as many things I should say to him. I should tell him how smart and compassionate he is, and how he's always willing to admit his mistakes and try hard to move past them. I should tell him how I admire all his honesty and openness, and how he's a person of great character to not use his power and influence to manipulate Star and me into getting whatever he wanted. Great character. Damn it. Wait, I say. He snaps back away from me, his eyes shooting open. He looks worried, like he crossed the line or something.
Sorry.
I sigh.
It's you, actually.
Sorry, I just had a thought, and I can't put it behind me until I tell you.
What is it?
There's another guy, I say. Someone else I've been kind of talking to the last couple of weeks.
What?
He stammers.
Another guy? Are you serious? I thought you said you weren't in any relationships.
I mean, I'm not. We just started talking recently. Actually, the day after you and I met. But I knew him from before. He used to go to my school a couple years ago, and...
Why didn't you tell me?
Andrew's face is cast on the ground. His demeanor is dark and unreadable. I haven't seen a look like this before, so I'm genuinely confused. That's a fair question, I guess. It never crossed my mind. Every time we've been together, it was pretty busy, and I guess I was so focused on you that...
That you forgot about your other boyfriend?
The words are full of anger. At first, his reaction had me shocked, but now I'm getting angry myself. What the hell what are you going on about? You're dating another girl, too.
Yeah, but that wasn't my choice, and you knew about that. You can't compare the two.
Yeah, we can't compare the two because the situation is outright insane. I didn't ask for any of this to happen when it did. It just did. It wasn't super clear to me that you and I were going to be a thing. And Tristan...
That's his name? Tristan?
Yeah. What, you gonna go beat him up?
I can't believe this. I just told you how great and honest you were, and you've been hiding this from me?
I wasn't hiding it. I just didn't think of it. We haven't even been on a date yet.
Yet?
Well, I was supposed to go out with him tomorrow.
And when were you going to tell me about that? Before or after we kissed?
Obviously before, since I'm telling you before. Our faces are close to one another again, but this time we're practically snarling at each other.
What if I had picked you?
He says quietly.
What if I picked you, but you picked him?
Then that would have been sad, but it's my choice to make.
And what would have happened to me after?
That's not fair. I'll protect you no matter what our relationship status is.
Because I'm the guardian?
Because I care about you. He turns away, gripping his fist tightly. I do the same, preparing to slug it out with him, but I realize he's doing it to try and keep his composure. I think he's on the verge of tears.
Maybe I should just pick Star.
Is that what you're going to do? My anger simmers down in the silence that follows. I want desperately for him to say no. I want to apologize. I want to tell him that I'll call Tristan right away and break it all off.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
He says.
I need to think. and you need to go.
I grab a messenger bag and angrily throw it over my shoulders. I open the door to his room and I'm about to slam it behind me, but I catch myself. You know, when I was lost in the spirit world, the only person I wanted to see was you, I say. Then I close the door behind me, but without the slamming, because I don't know if I can trust my strength in this moment, and shattering the door would be a little over the top. I see myself down the stairs and out the front door. I don't look back at all until I've cleared the white picket fence and shut it behind me. Andrew is at his window looking down at me. I can't see his face clearly enough to figure out what he's thinking. Damn it, I mutter to myself. I turn my back to his window and pull out my phone, hitting the first number on the contacts.
Hey.
Fernanda says with 2 rings. Hey, pick me up.
Okay, why?
We're going bikini shopping, I declare. I still can't believe we're doing this, I say. We're in Tristan's car, a blue Toyota Prius that has a dashboard that looks like a spaceship. We're driving slowly along the highway by the beach. The windows rolled down and some reggae playing in the background. He looks super cool in a pair of sunglasses, his long curly hair let down into a well-coiffed mane that flows in the wind. I, on the other hand, have to keep dragging strands of my hair that keep whipping into my mouth and eyes.
Life is about making unexpected choices,
He says.
It makes it more memorable. Can you remember everything you did the last 2 weeks?
I understand his point. The more monotonous our days are, the more it seems like time passes by without reason, without no purpose. Unfortunately for him, these have been the most memorable 2 weeks of my entire life. But I can't tell him that. So I say, no.
Exactly. Now you'll have a memory. I hope it's a good memory, but I'll take any memory for now.
I smile and lean against the seat, tipping my face out the window. He was right. It was a perfect day for the beach. Just a little warmer, but not too warm. No clouds in the sky. And I feel relaxed. More deeply relaxed than I have in days. That by itself is enough to make me want to forget everything else, which is weird considering how yesterday left off. Andrew texted me about 20 minutes after I left my house, apologizing, saying that he was just shocked and upset. He shouldn't have said what he said. He wanted to talk and sort it out. I didn't answer him. I guess I'm still mad at him, but I'm also really confused. I don't know how to answer him yet, so I figured that silence is the better option. Star is with him today, so he should have plenty to think about. But despite all that, I feel good. Everything else feels distant and unimportant. I don't know why, but I'm glad Tristan has that effect on me. We park. He's brought everything. A cooler, an umbrella, a frisbee, and some towels. I brought a towel too, but that was all I could smuggle out of my house. The whole morning, I felt like my mom was going to jump from around a corner and catch me ditching school. I'd rather fight another spirit bull than deal with an infuriating Amma. We find a nice spot and set our stuff down. He peels his shirt immediately, revealing rich brown skin and well-defined muscles. He looks like a model from a surf magazine. I'm gonna go change, I say. I take my backpack and head over to the public changing area and find an empty stall. My nerves about skipping school have mostly subsided, but the nerves about the next decision are in full force. I open the backpack and take out 2 swimsuits. The first is my usual swimsuit, a simple black 2-piece built for function rather than style. I don't look bad in this, but it's definitely sportier. I think it was actually designed for beach volleyball. The other is a string bikini. It's jade green with black polka dots. This is the one that Fernanda helped me buy yesterday after I left Andrew's house. It's cuter and sexier. And I don't know which one I should wear. Julk, a relationship competent alter ego, would definitely wear the polka dots. It didn't matter to Julk that I'm not the kind of girl who would wear something like that, because she would become that girl. Flirty, fun, sexy. But I can't count on that part of me that is Julk, is inconsistent. But this day is about pushing my boundaries. I'm already ditching school. Why fall back on old patterns now? I guess that settles it. I need to be bold. Otherwise, what was the point of rejecting Andrew's kiss? I change, apply sunscreen, and put my sunglasses back on, and stare nervously at the stall door. Julk, if you're a real part of my personality, I could really use you right now. I walk back to Tristan. He's since taken off his short, revealing very tight, very short swim trunks. He has nice legs and the look works for him, even if it feels a little outdated. Or European. Now that's a sexy swimsuit, I say.
Same to you.
He says. He grins easily and takes off his sunglasses as if needing to put an unobstructed look at me. I do a little spin, then struck my best supermodel pose, though I think it was actually just combat stance.
Food first or swimming?
Definitely swimming, I say.
Great. I was worried you were going to be one of those girls who came to the beach just to lay around in the sun.
Is there anything about me that would suggest I wouldn't swim? He laughs.
No, I guess not. That was pretty dumb of me.
I take my sunglasses off and drop them onto the towel. Race you to the water. I take off into a full speed run.
Hey, not fair.
Tristan says, trailing behind me. I beat him there, of course. Despite the warm day, the water's still pretty cold. I'm used to it from all the water shock training we do in the pool at home. Peter once theorized that our swimming training techniques were borrowed from the Navy SEALs, but that might have been a brotherly tall tale to mess with me. Still, I dipped through the water easily, brushing off the cold with a little concentration, and a touch of soulful energy here and there. Tristan isn't faring so well. What's wrong? I say.
It's freezing. How are you just ignoring it?
I dip my head underwater and then leap out of it, flinging my head back. I'm trying to do that cool water whipping effect you see in photo shoots, but my hair is way too short, and it just ends up in an awkward tangle on top of my head. I frown and comb it with my fingers. I'm just tougher than you, I say.
No argument for me.
Tristan says.
I'm sure I'll be fine in a minute.
Let's swim out to the platform, I say. The city had tied a floating dock a good distance away from the shore. Usually it's too crowded to swim out there, but since it's a random Thursday, it's completely empty. He nods between shivers and we head out. I've done the swim before, but it always takes longer than it looks like it should. By the time I pull myself out, my heart is pumping. I feel great. Tristan is still struggling. When he gets there, he flops himself on the platform and pants to catch his breath. You okay? I asked, leaning over him.
Yeah, I'm not great at swimming.
Lots of people get worn out from swimming because they're not breathing properly. Don't take in desperate gulps of air when your body is running low on oxygen. You got to control your breathing steadily, like if you were running. Try it when we head back. He sits up and laughs a little.
How much running do you think I do, Jane?
I motion at his body. Well, you're in pretty good shape.
That's all good genes. I do a couple of push-ups and out come the muscles. Mostly I just focus on eating right. I'm not much of a workout person.
That is an incredibly ridiculous choice, I say. The joy of working out is being able to eat whatever you want. We stretch out on the platform and let the sun warm us up. The ocean waves gently sway us back and forth. In the past, I probably would have been too nervous to stretch out my scantily clad body like this, but I still feel relaxed and confident around Tristan. It just doesn't bother me. It's not quite a joke, though. I'm not sure how to explain how I'm feeling or where any of this is coming from.
That mean you're gonna go back to the volleyball team for sure?
He asks. A memory of the stalker spirit in the volleyball t-shirt strikes me, and I shudder. I don't think so. I have enough going on with my martial arts training, and I do have to do homework at some point. Wait, when is that English paper due? Is that due today? And there's a bunch of other things I have to sort out, I add.
Like what?
I can't tell you, I say. Sorry.
Don't be. You don't have to tell me your whole life story just because I asked.
I want to. I don't like keeping secrets, and I'm not that great at lying, but this is just really complicated.
Maybe you'll feel more ready over time.
He suggests. Yeah, that's probably true.
I guess that just means you're going to have to go on more dates with me.
I roll onto my side to find that Tristan has already done the same. We're both propped up on one elbow. I stare at him, admiring his body under the sunlight, and he's doing the same to me. I'm not opposed to more dates, I say.
Glad to hear it.
He scoots closer to me, placing one of his arms around mine. His touch is electric, shocking me with immediate excitement and exhilaration. Our faces are closer now, and I can smell him. The interesting combination of sandalwood and vanilla and hazelnut. I had been pretty cold from the water, but all of the sensations of cold have vanished from me. His other hand brushes away a lock of my hair off of my forehead. His eyes are smoldering. I'm frozen in place, tense with desire and hope. He leans over and kisses me. The best description I have is that it's like kissing a volcano. Of course, the only other kiss I can compare it to is the other day when a stalker spirit was trying to rip my soul out through my lips. But the description seems perfect. Fire and heat moving in a slow, steady flow. That's what it feels like as his lips are pressed against mine. I lean into it, savor it, and then release a kiss with a satisfying little pop. I breathe. He leans over and kisses me again, and again, and again. After a few minutes of kissing, we finally break free. My arm is falling asleep and I need to stretch it out. I look over at him and he's grinning ear to ear.
How'd I do?
He asks. You didn't just ask me that, I say, teasing. He shrugs like the adorable dope he is.
If you want any more of those kisses, you better have brought some good food. I'm starving.
I declare. Before he can answer, I stand up and dive into the water. I'm at least a dozen feet away from the platform before I turn around to look at him. If you don't hurry, I'm going to eat all your food too. He laughs and cannonballs after me. I pull myself through the water as fast as I can. I take long, powerful strokes, pushing myself to my top speed. I'm delirious from Tristan's kiss. The memory of it is filling me with an intense need to do it again and again, and as often as he'll let me. Somewhere inside me, a tiny ninth grade Jane is cheering her head off. But then, something happens. The sensation is abrupt. It's like something snaps from around my head and all the hormones flooding my brain exit at once. The warm fuzziness that I felt while kissing Tristan is gone, and it's replaced with guilt. 100 thoughts slam into me all at once. How could I go and kiss Tristan less than 24 hours after I turned down Andrew's kiss? And I turned down Andrew's kiss because I wasn't honest with Andrew about Tristan. But I definitely hadn't told Tristan about Andrew. Why the double standard? Was I doing this because deep down I liked Tristan? Was I doing this all for ninth grade Jane, some sort of weird reclaiming of my pride? Was I doing this because I was mad at Andrew? The longer I swim, the more uncertain I become about this whole date. I don't know why. My best guess is that is like when I run too clear in my head. All the swimming was just giving me a clear perspective of my behavior. And I have to say, I'm kind of ashamed of myself. By the time I climb onto the shore, I feel terrible. I've gone too far too quickly with Tristan. And it's not just a hunch, it's a full-on fact. Right? I mean, Andrew and I didn't have any agreements. We weren't married. We haven't defined a relationship. I mean, we were about to, but that doesn't count, especially since it ended in such a huge fight. My head hurts. I think I'm hungry and I'm definitely dehydrated. I jog over to Tristan's cooler and pull out a water bottle. I down it in 3 gulps. In the cooler are also some homemade sandwiches wrapped in foil. I tear one open and shove it down my throat. By the time I finish my sandwich, Tristan's reached the shore. He looks even more exhausted this time. He grins as he approaches, though I think he's embarrassed.
I'm not a swimmer.
He says. I was going to say some of my thoughts to Tristan when he got here, but now that he's here, it doesn't seem important. Maybe I was just blowing things out of proportion. I was hungry and I'm still raw from my fight with Andrew. I'm overthinking things. Well, you got here in time. I was seriously about to eat your sandwich, I say.
You can.
He says, gesturing to it. What? No, you need to eat too, I reply.
I'm not that hungry. How about half?
I shrug and accept. He drives off, sits down next to me, and then unwraps his sandwich. As promised, he breaks it in half. I eat this one a little slower, just so I don't look like a seagull. Thanks for lunch, and for all of this, I say. It's been really fun.
I'm glad. It's nice to play hooky from your life once in a while. All of your worries will be there by the time you get back.
He says. Ain't that the truth? We hang out a little after lunch. We splash a bit in the water, though we don't do any more major swimming. We try tossing frisbee around a bit, but he's terrible at it. Why do I keep ending up with these klutzy boys? Are they my type? We talk, We laugh, we joke. But we have to leave way too soon. The beach is a bit of a drive from school, and the problem with ditching school is that everyone's going to expect me to be at the places at around the same time, which meant we had to get back by 3 o'clock. We don't kiss again. Even though I wasn't feeling quite so guilt-stricken, I still feel strongly that until I choose between Tristan and Andrew, I won't kiss him again. He didn't try to kiss me or bring it up, so I guess he was okay with taking it. I leaned back in his passenger seat and I let out a sigh of relief. He looks so damn sexy driving this car while the ocean glistens behind us. Next time, I want to see the sunset, I say.
Sunset it is.
He replies. I get out my phone while he drives. I frown. There are a lot of missed calls. I guess I never checked my phone while I was at the beach, but for the last 4 hours, every 15 minutes, Star has been trying to call me. I'm about to try and call her back when my phone starts buzzing in my hands. Sorry, I gotta take this, I say to Tristan. He shrugs and nods. Is everything okay? I ask. My first thoughts are Andrew, and that something might have happened.
You tell me. Andrew told me what happened to you two yesterday.
Oh, I say flatly.
I'm not taking sides. Okay, I am taking sides, and you're totally right to be mad at him.
Oh, wait, what? I try catching up my thoughts. The relaxed vibe from being around Tristan is evaporating around me.
Well, our contract doesn't say we can't date anyone else, and he's dating 2 people. And we have been pretty busy. I don't know, saving his life? He was out of line, and I'm totally behind you.
Oh, thanks, I say.
But he feels terrible.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about it tomorrow.
Why not tonight? We have a group date tonight, remember?
I know, but I'm tired and I don't think I'm up for it. You also brought me in on Monday, remember? Just consider it a trade,
Jane, I really think you should come.
Star says. Well, I'm not going. I'm not going to Star.
But Jane,
No buts, Star. I'm not going. Goodbye. I hang up on her and set my phone to silent.
You live here?
Tristan asks as we pull up to an apartment building. No, my brother does. Thanks for dropping me off. I know it's kind of out of the way of school.
No problem. When can I see you again?
I grimace. I don't know.
That phone call have something to do with all the complicated stuff going on?
Yeah, I admit.
It's okay. Take care of your stuff, and then if you're still up for it, let's keep dating.
I'd like that, I say.
Great. But don't be a total stranger.
I'll text and send you stupid memes. I promise, I say. He smiles and I feel my heart pounding again.
Bye, Jane.
He drives off just as the outer door to the apartment opens.
Jane?
Hannah says. Hey, sorry for dropping by unannounced, I say.
No, that's fine. Were you swimming?
I reach up and feel my hair, still not quite dry. Yeah, I was. Hannah's smart, so when she narrows her eyes to look at me, I can tell she's trying to make some deductions.
So you went on a swimming date?
Yeah, I say.
And it went well?
Yeah, I say.
Well, you wouldn't just swing by unless something was wrong, so I'm a little lost.
It was a date with someone else, I say. I feel like I'm shrinking with the weight of the shame. Hannah nods.
Ah, there it is. Come on, let's go and talk about it.
I'm glad I came here. I know I need clarity about my life and situation, but I'm short on people to talk to. Mom would try her best, but I don't think she'd approve of my dating Tristan. I can't talk about this with Dad or any of my brothers. With Star, I don't know. She seemed to be on my side when she called me earlier, but she was also really insistent on me going to a group date. That didn't make any sense. And so here I am, with the only other person who has enough context to know what's going on. But I'm not sure Hannah is going to be that helpful either. Hannah has only ever been with Daniel since high school. I follow her through the apartment courtyard into the stairwell. To my surprise, Daniel's there struggling with a couch.
You need help?
Hannah asks.
Nah, I got it.
Daniel says between labored breaths. You do not got it. Take some help, I say. Daniel, whose entire focus was on the couch battle, looks up in surprise.
Jane? What the heck are you doing here? Never mind. Lift.
I walk over and heft up the side of the couch. This is exactly what he needs to get the turn on the couch just right so that we can enter the second floor hallway. We march with the couch to an open apartment door, then slip it through the doorway. Then the apartment is kind of in flux. Things are in boxes, furniture is in odd places, and there's a lot of unhung pictures leaning against the wall. This is the apartment that Daniel and Hannah are moving into when they get married. Daniel's still at home and Hannah had an apartment, but they both wanted something to call their own when they got started.
Jeez, you been working out? I think you're stronger than me.
Daniel says with a groan. He leans over with his hands on his back, looking a lot like my dad. I hadn't really noticed, but I guess the couch is pretty heavy. I wonder if all the Guardian Fist training I've been doing is giving me super strength.
You've been lifting things all day, sweetie, and you won't let me help.
Hannah says.
You have a bad back. You can't throw it out.
He also won't let me call your or any of his brothers.
They're busy.
And he won't let me hire someone.
It's expensive.
Stop doing
everything yourself, Dumbo, I say.
See, listen to your sister.
Hannah adds.
Yeah, listen to your fiance. I think that's you.
Listen to your fiance and tell you to listen to your sister. We both laugh. Daniel sighs, though he's smirking at the same time.
Now you're going to tell me that I need to buy dinner for her, too. Just go back home and eat.
Daniel says.
We're going to buy dinner for her because she needs some advice.
Oh, well, whatever it is, I'm sure we can figure it out.
Daniel, it's about her dating situation.
Hannah says with an air of finality.
Oh, right. Yeah. You don't want me here for that, do you?
Not really, I say. Sorry.
Nope, I get it. I'll just head back to your other place, load up a couple of boxes, and get the food. Sound good?
You're the best, love.
Aw.
Hannah says. He leans over and they kiss. It's a sweet, fast kiss, but it makes my heart fuzzy. Then he gives me a high five.
Proud of you, Jano.
He says, thanks, Demo. He rolls his eyes and closes the front door behind me. Hannah motions for me to sit on the couch.
Okay, tea time,
he says. I take a deep breath and I start from the beginning. Hannah listens well. She only stops to ask a few clarifying questions. She reminds me to breathe and to take my time, which is hard because it's all coming out of me like an avalanche of words, but we get through it somehow. So, there it is, I say. I feel ashamed.
You shouldn't. You're a teenager. I know teenagers hate it when people say that to them, but it matters. You're just learning how to deal with all these complex situations. You're going to make mistakes. That's how you get better at being a whole person.
Hannah says. You don't think what I did was wrong? She considers this for a moment.
I don't know if right and wrong are the correct terms for this. There aren't a lot of moral compasses calibrated for your situation. It's strange, and the rules are different, and the results matter a lot more than a regular romantic relationship.
Because Andrew's the guardian?
Yes.
That sucks. It shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't, but it is, and we can't ignore that.
I nod. She's right, of course. So, what do I do? Call it off with Tristan?
Oh, slow down,
she says, holding up a hand.
Let's take this one point at a time. Was Andrew overreacting? Yes, he was, but he also admitted that he was and apologized for that. That's important in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why he's under a lot of stress, and I kind of threw it at him out of nowhere.
You don't need to justify his actions for him. It's a real bad habit to get into. He was out of line, but the important thing is that he recognized it and he took responsibility for it. That's a great quality.
Hannah says. He's pretty dependable, I say, smiling.
Now you. Were you overreacting in that situation?
I wince. Yeah, I got pretty heated.
And that was understandable too. But you said things you regret, so now you have to own up to it.
Yeah, I will when I talk to him tomorrow.
So you're going to see him tomorrow?
Friday's our date night, I say.
Thursday is your group date night, and yet you're here.
He points out. I shrug. I don't know. I guess I keep wondering who I would pick if this was all normal. If Andrew wasn't the guardian, would I still be as invested in him? If Tristan wasn't my ninth grade crush, would we even be dating at all?
I can see why you would wonder that, but it's not useful. You have to look at things the way they are, Jane, not the way they should be or the way you want them to be. Tristan is your ninth grade crush, and Andrew is the next guardian.
Hannah says. Ugh, I'm being delusional, aren't I? Hannah pauses for a second, as if deliberating something.
Did you know I dated a few other guys?
The subject change catches me off guard, but I'm curious. When? Before Daniel?
No, when we started college.
My mouth drops open. What?
Yes. We'd been together for a few years already, but I was worried I was going to miss out. I didn't want to marry the first guy I dated and then wonder if I made a massive mistake, so we decided to date other people for a while.
Daniel never said anything, I say.
He wouldn't have. He didn't actually date anyone else during that period. He says he was just waiting for me. I think I went out with 4 or 5 guys.
Wow, that's so huge. You don't understand. The whole myth of your relationship is built on your longevity, I say.
Well, that's all it is. A myth. But I'm glad I did it.
Because you realize how great Daniel was? She shrugs.
Yes, but the other guys weren't so bad. I could have seen myself with one of the other guys for the long haul.
Really? I can't get over the shock of this revelation.
Really. That's the thing about relationships, Jane. It's not all fate and destiny. There isn't a one, in my opinion. There's just people. You're attracted to some people on a romantic level, and if they like you back, you could choose to be in a relationship and make it work. Or you can choose to not make it work and break up. My point is that we spend a lot of time talking about fate and destiny and not enough about choice. I chose Daniel, ultimately, because my grandmother died and I was wrecked, and he knew how to be there for me. He knew when to cheer me up, when to leave me alone, and when to sit there and listen. That's when I realized that the life I wanted needed a partner like that.
The warm fuzziness returns to my heart. You guys are too cute.
That is not the point I'm trying to make.
Hannah says with a smile.
Both Andrew and Tristan have good points, but they bring out different aspects of who you are. The question is, who do you want to be? And which of the guys helps you be that person?
What if it's neither?
Then it's neither. It'd be sad, but it's better to figure that out as early as possible.
She says. I sigh. I thought you were just going to tell me which one to dump and I would just do it.
No, unfortunately, I care too much about you to do that. But I think you know already.
I shut my eyes and take a breath. I think about both Andrew and Tristan and about the crazy couple of weeks that we've lived through together. And I know my answer. I need to have some tough conversations, I say. Hannah nods.
Yes, you do. But you're doing really well, Jane. You've tried to be as truthful as you can be, and that's the only way to find what you need. I'm proud of how you handled it.
I lean in and hug Hannah, and she hugs back, strong. It is good to have an older sister, I realize. I'm lucky to have a brother smart enough to find a good woman like Hannah. Thanks for all of it, I say.
It's what family's for.
The front door barges open, and Daniel walks in with 2 huge plastic bags.
Food's here!
We eat the Chinese takeout and have a nice dinner. I'm feeling tired after a day of swimming and all of the emotions I've had to process, but the mediocre food has bolstered me for now. I'm gonna head home and get out of your way, I say.
I'll drive you back.
Daniel says. No, I'm fine. I'll get a ride share.
You sure?
Yeah, thanks though. We hug a bunch more, then say our goodbyes. I walk down to the front of the apartment complex, punching in the request for the ride, grateful that I thought to plug my phone in when I got there. I'm about to finalize the request when I look up at the curb.
Hi, Jane.
Star is leaning against a cherry red Tesla. What the heck are you doing here? I ask.
I told you, we really need to talk about a few things.
He says. Yeah, but how the heck did you know I was where I was? Star opens her mouth to answer, but my ears catch a strange sound. It's like a grinding, winding sound, like an old fishing reel. I turn towards the direction, but I don't see anyone.
What's wrong, Jane?
Nothing, I just thought I heard. Star falls onto her side. I turn and look and realize that something has hooked onto the leg of her jeans. In the blink of an eye, Star is being dragged across the sidewalk at an incredible speed. Star! I yell, running after her. Star is pulled through the crack of light in the block wall outside the apartment building. Her foot impacts, but she doesn't slow down at all. Instead, her figure melts and bends and starts sliding into the crack. Oh crap, not again, I yell. I grab onto Star, and the world turns inside out. I'm flying through the air in the spirit world, holding on to Star's wrist. I look around and I see dead trees and strange shapes of stones in a world that's full of murky purple haze. I need to slow us down. Hold on, I yell.
I'm being pulled,
Star says. I see a big, dark shape ahead. I spin the mental wheel in my belly to gather up a bunch of soul fist energy, and then I slam my hand into the dark shape. It's stone. My fingers curl into claws, desperately looking for a handhold. We come to a sudden stop as my hand slides into a crack in the wall.
Jane, it's not stopping!
Star cries out. Just hold on! I steady my breathing and draw in more power. Here in the spirit world, I light up like a superhero or an anime character, bathed in green light. My strength multiplies, and I can actually pull myself and Star closer to the stone. If I can just get my legs on here, I mutter.
Wait, I see what's grabbing me. I can get it.
Star says. What? No, Star, don't move. Star turns and raises a hand. A gigantic pair of scissors materialize above her, the kind you'd see for a ribbon cutting ceremony. The scissors float towards Star's leg. She twists a little too far, though. I feel her wrist slipping out of my hands, and it's either let her go or crush her bones. I let her go. Star! I pull myself to the rock and turn. If I jump fast enough, maybe I can get a hold of her again. Star's thrown forward, but only for a second. The scissors make a quick snip somewhere in the air around her ankle, and the force pulling her stops. But she's already been thrown forward and is hurtling towards a tree. She waves a hand. Right before she hits the tree, a gigantic pillow appears. The pillow makes a comfy paff sound. Star then falls backwards off the tree, and her pillow dissolves into 1,000 white feathers. The feathers follow her down, swirl past her, and gather up into a pile on the ground. When the last feather arrives, it transforms back into the pillow. She lands softly on her back. She swings her legs up and onto her feet, and the pillow bursts into more feathers, which then float away around her. Between the moody atmosphere and her blonde hair and the floating feathers, she looks angelic. I leap down. Are you okay? I ask.
Yeah, I made the pillow thick enough,
he says. Are those real illusion things? I ask. The real illusions? She laughs.
How have I never thought of calling them re-illusions before? You're so clever. But yes, those are it.
When you say real, you mean real, don't you? That sort of makes you absolutely powerful here in the spirit world. She shrugs.
I can't punch a rock and use super strength.
Fair point, I say. I look around. Any idea where we are?
No. Do you have anything to help us find a gate?
You would think I would have learned my lesson, but no, I don't. I'm not actually allowed to go to the spirit world alone yet. They think I'm not ready.
Do they know that you already went to the spirit world alone?
They know I was there, but they don't know what happened, I say. I guess I'm still worried Krell might be pulling information from someone in my clan. She shakes her head in disbelief.
They're still treating you like a child. If they knew half of the things you've done in the last 2 weeks, they'd probably change their mind.
Maybe, but my prestige in the clan isn't that important right now. Star looks around.
Well, since we don't have a way to get back, I think the best thing to do is look for something important and interesting and go from there. Like that.
She points over my shoulder. I turn around. The stone shapes I saw earlier look like Aztec ruins. Not exactly the same markings and decorations, but the best I can think of to describe it. Star is pointing at a very large stone building, something like a temple or a castle. It rises high above the rest of the twisted dead woods and the other stone buildings around it. Who lives there? I ask.
Maybe nobody. Maybe it won't have anything useful in it either, but at the very least, we can get a good view.
Good plan, I say. We start walking. I'm still wearing shorts, flip-flops, and a tank top for my beach excursion. Not exactly ideal outerwear for trekking through haunted ruins. I do have a messenger bag, but I didn't put bad clothes in it. Star isn't that much better equipped with her jeans, wedge heels, and designer off-the-shoulder t-shirt. It's taking us longer than it should. Crap! I snapped the strap. I looked down on my left foot, where the flip-flop had gotten lodged under a rock, a root. I sign and take the other one off and toss it next to his broken sister.
You're gonna go barefoot?
Honestly, I think it'll be easier. Star looks at her own shoes, shrugs, and then kicks them off, setting them next to mine. Do I even want to know how much those cost? I ask.
I mean, personally, nothing. They came in a swag bag at the Grammys last year.
I'll just carry them. I can't let you just leave them there, I say, putting them into my messenger bag. And why do you give expensive stuff away to rich people?
I don't know. Most of the celebrity world doesn't make sense.
Star says.
But if you want your own pair, I'll get you some. I think I have spares of the exact kind.
I'm not exactly a wedge heel kind of girl.
You are totally a shoe girl. Don't try to hide it. I see you checking mine out all the time.
I mean, you have great shoes. I just can't wear any of them.
That settles it. When we get back, we're going through my closet together.
Star snaps her finger and her barefoot feet are suddenly covered in hiking boots.
You want some?
I think about it. No, I'm fine barefoot. It might mess with my energy flow to have illusion boots. I scan around the forest. It's hard to sense spirits in the spirit world, but everything still feels very still and quiet. It feels abandoned, I say.
It might be.
But why bring you here? And who attacked you?
Both good questions.
Star says, stepping on top of a log.
But whoever did it was relying on surprise. The minute we put up resistance, they ran off.
Unless they're just waiting to spring a trap on us. What was pulling you anyway?
Not sure. Something stringy.
She says.
It vanished as soon as I cut it.
We keep our guard up as we approach the base of the temple, but nothing happens. That sensation of stillness and quiet lasts until we start climbing the steps. I feel a vague sense of energy here. Strangely enough, the energy feels familiar. Oh, wait a second, I say. The steps of the temple have two empty pillars, which used to have statues on them. One of the statues is on the ground, mostly intact. It's a man wearing traditional Korean armor, standing sentinel with a shield and spear. This is a Haruk gate. That explains why the energy felt familiar.
So it'll take us back to the mortar world.
Yes, it will. This one is closed, but I know how to open them.
What the heck happened to it?
Star says, motioning around. I frown. That was a good question. The important gates were supposed to be guarded by one or two clansmen. The less used ones were sometimes closed in a secure location, but even those were checked on a regular interval. It didn't make sense that any gate would fall into such terrible disrepair. We better keep our guards up, I say. She nods. We climb the steps. The temple has a large entrance with more pillars. The inside of the temple is dimly lit with a faint gray light coming from the ceiling. I look up. What the hell? I say. The gate is on the ceiling.
I take it that's not normal.
Star says. It's got to be like 60 or 70 feet in the air. No wonder we aren't using it anymore. It'd be near suicide to fall through it. I look around the room. The light from the gate isn't enough to see everything, but I don't think I can scale the walls. I mean, it is built in a step pyramid. I'd be climbing at a terrible angle. I guess we can climb on the outside of the temple and see if there's a way in from the roof. Or you can illusion up a rope for us to climb, I say.
Rope? I was gonna go with escalator.
With a wave of her hands, an honest to goodness escalator starts to rise out of the ground. It's a spiral escalator that will take us all the way to the gate. I'll take the escalator, I say.
That surprises me. I thought you'd want the workout of climbing the rope.
Star says. Honestly, I'm pretty tired. I had a busy day, and then grabbing that rock, we both step onto the escalator.
What did you do today?
Oh no, I forgot. I was swimming all day, but Star didn't know that. Though she said that Andrew told her everything, so she would know that I was with Tristan today. Maybe I had better tell her the whole story so that she doesn't jump to a bunch of conclusions. A giant spider screeches and leaps onto the escalator. We both scream. And when I say giant, I mean giant. Like the size of a tank. It wraps its spindled legs around the escalator coil and leans forward to snap its jaw and fangs towards us. Spider glows with an electric purple light, so bright that I'm not sure how I didn't see it in the darkness.
Hold on.
Star says. The escalator vanishes. The spider falls for a moment, then halts itself midair. Star and I land in a rope net that she's created a few feet above the ground. Once we slow, the net vanishes, allowing us back on our feet. The spider is still visible. It shoots a web to the ceiling and slowly descends, eyes fixated on us. It clacks and chitters. I think it's trying to talk to us, I say. Star frowns.
I think it's trying to eat us, Jane.
I think if it wanted to, it would have. It's fast and strong and we didn't notice it. But it's scared of us. And now it's approaching us slowly. Maybe it's trying to warn us.
Do you understand what it's saying?
Star asks. I stop and listen. The spider's now on the ground level, continuing to make noises towards us. No, you?
No. Could really use one of those spirit speaker clan guys right now. Or Andrew.
It might understand us, though, I say. I take a step forward and bow towards the spider. Mighty spider spirit, we apologize for trespassing on your territory, but we mean you no harm. We only wish to pass back to the mortal world. We will cross your domain peacefully and then never return. Spider lunges. Before I can raise my fist, there's a huge clang. The spider has leapt face first into a row of metal bars. More metal bars appear, enclosing the spider into a cage. The cage shrinks until the spider can barely contain itself inside.
Very noble of you to want to talk to the hungry spider spirit, Jane. But maybe this time we just get the hell out of here?
Star says. She waves her hand at our feet, and a wooden platform appears beneath us. Elevator? I ask.
Random floating platform, like a Super Mario game.
The platform starts to lift into the air. The spider thrashes against the Relusion cage, making the most terrible sounds. I do feel bad for the thing, but it's just trying to live a quiet life in the ruins of a fallen Haduk temple. Wait, maybe this thing killed all the Haduk here. The spider is smarter than I thought. There's a splash and a yelp from Star. I turn to look at her. Her face is dripping with some strange purple fluid.
Uh-oh.
She says.
Venom.
Keep your mouth shut. I scramble to take my messenger bag off. Hold on, I'll use my shirt.
Nope. Too late. Skin contact? I'm losing focus. Shit.
The platform rushes to the ground rapidly, then stops and vanishes about an inch off the ground. The spider's bars melt into solid metal walls. It screeches and cries even louder.
Damn, I should have made solid walls the first time.
Quick, get on my back. I'll carry us out, I say.
No, I can focus a little longer. Gonna make a platform to shoot you straight up. Get to your gate. Get back to Andrew.
Like hell and leave you here? Not gonna happen.
You have to!
Star's words become slurred. Her body's becoming limp, and the hand she rolls out in anger is swaying like a noodle.
Without us, Andrew has no one. He'll be exposed.
I turn to face the metal box. I sigh and crack my knuckles. I'll just squish the spider, I say. I gather soulfist energy. The ribbon shoots out of my messenger bag. It scoops up Star and lifts her onto my back like a daggy that Ivy uses for Carter. Star is pretty light, but carrying another person on my back isn't ideal. This also means I can't use the ribbon as a weapon, though I doubt it would do very well against the spider. Time for fans. I snap them out and let my breathing steady. Energy is spinning through the wheel on my belly and out through my fingertips. Green lightning crackles along the spines of the bladed iron fans.
Can't hold on.
Star whispers to my ear. I got you. It'll be fine, I say. Star whimpers something incomprehensible back. The box vanishes. In the first moment, the spider is confused, still trying to thrash against the box. I send the energy to my legs, pushing myself forward as quickly as I can. I should be speeding along, but with Star on my back, I end up moving about my normal speed. I'm fast, but it isn't enough to close the distance before it notices me. It turns and opens its mouth. Ultraviolet webs come shooting at me. I whip the fans around in circular motions, letting the soulfist energy flow through their edges. It's enough to sever the web and send it flying away from me without getting wrapped around the fan. I'm about halfway there. I need a few more seconds to get into striking range. The jaws of the spider make an adjustment, then open again, this time in a slightly different angle. Instead of a web, a splash of venom flies from its mouth. I stall the wheel in my belly and let the energy overflow for a heartbeat. I use the guardian fist and release it all into the muscles of my leg and jump straight into the air. A ring of green light flies out of my body with a sudden explosion of energy. I sail over the venom splash, arcing towards the spider. I bring both fans ahead of me. All I have to do is let the momentum take me and land a few strikes on its eyes. But I land on nothing and strike at nobody. I look up. The spider has already skittered itself back up the wall, balancing itself on webs that I can't see. I just gotta be faster. I use the guardian fist technique again, dumping more energy into my legs. My jump is nothing short of superheroic, but by the time I've landed, the spider has moved. I stand on a cross-section of web, watching the spider shoot more webbing to climb on. I jump up and down on the web a few times, letting it stretch further and further until I have good bounce going. Then I use the guardian fist again and supercharge the next jump. While I'm sailing through the air, I grasp onto webs. I swing after the spider as it continues its retreat. The fans slice long strands of web. I swing more. I tumble and flip and kick off the walls. I chase the spider up and down the length of the temple, but I can never get close enough to attack. Eventually, I land back on the temple floor, standing pretty much where I started, with the spider doing the same. This didn't make any sense. The spider had to be 5 times my size, and yet it was too quick to catch up. I could keep blaming Star, but I've been throwing so much energy into my legs that it shouldn't matter. The spider has home turf advantage. It lives here, it knows its body, and it can travel easily along the web. Right now, it's completely on the defensive, only half-heartedly shooting webbing and venom at me. But I dodge it all, because I'm trying really hard. That's the plan, I realize. It's trying to tire me out. I'm the big guy, I say.
Uh-huh.
Star moans. Nothing, go back to sleep, dear, I say. I strike a sturdy stance and flick both fans out in front of me. Movies and video games make too big of a deal about speed. Every anime protagonist can move 1,000,000 miles an hour. Every little guy justifies their size by speed. The truth is that small things can move faster than larger things. I'll always be faster than my brothers, but my brothers will always be stronger. In martial arts, a big guy doesn't compensate for speed by trying to go faster. They use timing. I was chasing the spider because I thought I was the little guy, but I'm not. I'm the big guy. The guardian fist has the ability to smush this bug, and no matter how much energy I put into jumping, I'm not going to be able to catch up. So I have to stop chasing. The spider starts towards me, firing a few more webs. I slice them all down with my fans. It charges. Then it raises its head and launches another web, landing it against the back wall, and then using the web to pull itself through the air. If you've never had a tank-sized spiders zipline at you, you can't imagine the terror involved. But I have to stay focused. I ready the guardian fist, gathering all the power I need into my belly. I close both fans and stick them into the ribbon. I cock my fist back. Just have to wait. Wait for it. Spider's getting bigger. I can see the hairs on his legs. I can see the imperfections on his carapace. My whole vision is filled with glowing purple. Now, the strike lands. The guardian fist explodes out of my arm and throws the spider hard into the wall behind it. It lands heavily while rubble crashes down on his back. I hear a growl. I see legs struggling. It isn't dead, but it's down for the count. Time to go. I tell the ribbon to let Star go, and I gather her into a fireman's carry over my shoulder. The ribbon wraps most of itself around my arms, but the end looks up at me like a curious snake. Well, come on, ribbon. Make like Spider-Man and get me to the ceiling. It shoots straight up. It catches corners of stones and goes taunt. I jump and let the ribbon carry me to the ceiling. Below, I hear the spider freeing itself from the rubble. Almost there, Star. Just hold on, I say.
Are we flying?
I pull hard on the ribbon in the last 10 feet because I need a little more speed. I gather up a fistful of soul fist energy, and slam it into the door of the gate. It responds immediately, splitting open reality and showing me a green portal. I catch the ribbon and pull myself up one more time, throwing Star and I through the portal. I pull my ribbon up behind me. We go through the same excruciating process we did when we entered the spirit world. I adjust faster than Star does and scramble up to my feet. I'm in the middle of an empty lot with a couple of scattered stones that mark the edge of the gate. I take my charged fist and swipe it through the gate. The gate seals itself off. Whew, I say, sitting on the ground. It's night, but the blacktop is still warm.
Where are we?
Star says, picking herself off the ground. The venom's gone, I say, pointing at her skin. She looks and shrugs.
It's spirit venom. We must be out of its range. You know what this means.
That we got really lucky.
No, it means you saved my life. Thank you, Jane.
I stand up and dust off the bottoms of my shorts. She leans in for a hug and squeezes me tight. I hug back. How the heck do you still smell so nice after all of that? I ask.
You smell like a beach.
She says. I grimace and slowly push away from her hug, looking around. Where are we? I ask. Star points behind me and I turn. Skies filled with a million bright lights, all flashing and blazing in a seductive shimmer.
Las Vegas,
She says. Oh crap, I say. This isn't going to be easy to fix.
Actually, this might be the easiest problem we've had in weeks.
She says, slipping her phone out of her back pocket.
Give me 10 minutes.
Star was wrong. It hadn't been weeks. 11 days. It has only been 11 days since my life was thrown into total chaos. It feels like it's been longer. The Jane that existed 12 days ago doesn't exist anymore. She's a long-forgotten child who lived a simple life. I don't know why I'm getting so philosophical. Maybe it's just exhaustion. Or maybe it's the surreal nature of my life. Today, I went on a date at the beach, talked over relationship problems with my future sister-in-law, bought a spider, and ended up in Vegas. And now I'm going home by private jet. This is too nice, I say in a whisper. Star is sitting across from me, tapping out a message on her phone. She sets it down and frowns at me.
Why are you whispering?
I don't know, it seems like I shouldn't be loud.
I'm paying for all this. You can do whatever you want. Yell, scream, cry, sleep. Are you hungry? I can have someone get us food before we take off.
No, I'm fine. This is really nice of you,
It's not a big deal.
he says.
What's the point of being rich and famous if it can't solve your problems once in a while?
I smile and let out a long sigh. Exhaustion is heavy in my bones. I want to sleep. The star is sitting on the edge of her seat, attention completely fixed on me. Is there something you need to talk about? I ask.
Actually, yeah. Andrew and I talked today about a lot of things.
You mentioned that on the phone earlier, I say. You said you were on my side.
I am. That's not what I wanted to talk about, though. Andrew and I talked about my proposition, about the three of us.
She says. I don't think either of us were sure how serious you were about that, to be honest.
I was very serious, but I knew it was a long shot.
She says. There's a crack in her voice that catches my attention. The sleepiness shoots out of me, and I sit up. There are tears gathering in her bright aqua eyes. Whoa, Star, wait a second. I didn't mean to hurt you, I say. I just...
No, stop, please. It's okay. You made the decision you were comfortable with, and I can't ask for anything more. But I need to tell you why I suggested it. I'm not going to like what's about to happen, but I can't live with myself if I don't say it.
Okay, I say. My heart is racing. I'm curious and nervous and afraid all at once.
Andrew told me he doesn't have any romantic feelings for me. Honestly, that's fine, because I don't have any feelings for him either. But I have feelings for you.
I don't know how long I sit there in stunned silence. Eventually, I notice my mouth is hanging open, so I make an effort to shut it. Me?
Why are you so surprised at that?
Because I don't know. I slap my hands over my mouth. Sorry, I'm shouting. She cracks a smile.
I guess that was a lot to drop on you at once. I'm bisexual. I don't really hide it, but it's not something I talk about a lot. Andrew is great and all, but I don't have that spark for him. You, though. I just think you're amazing, Jane. You're strong and kind and honest and hot. You're the kind of person I want in my life.
Well, thanks, and
It's okay. I know. You don't feel that way about me.
I don't. I'm sorry.
You don't need to be. I already knew, I think. But a girl has to shoot her shot, you know?
A few more tears are working to the edges of her eyes. She daintily rubs them away with the back of her fingers. I turn towards one of the compartments on the side of the seats and start rummaging around. I'll find you tissue, I say.
Jane, it's fine. Please stop. I just hope we can be friends after all this is over. I really have enjoyed hanging out with you and Andrew. I'd hate for that to end.
Of course. I mean, I'm a huge fan, right? And you have this amazing private jet.
It's not mine, but I can get them, yes. Don't forget there's a closet full of shoes waiting for you.
I reach out and grab her hand. She looks shocked and then confused. The fame and the money and the stuff is fun, but that's not why I want to keep being friends with you, Star. You're a good person. I need someone like you in my life. I mean, if it's not going to be too weird or painful for you.
I'll get over it.
She says.
Though, I could give you any life you wanted. Literally anything.
I'm used to worrying Andrew would realize that. I used to worry Andrew would realize that and pick you over me, I admit.
Nothing to worry about there. He cares about you a lot, Jane.
Our hands slip apart, and the pilot asks us to strap in so we can lift off. As the engines spin up and we lift off the ground, I have a realization. Does that mean he picked me? I ask. She smiles shyly.
Guess you'll have to talk to him about it tomorrow.
I take a deep breath and sink into my seat. Andrew picked me. It was a lovely thought to have before drifting to sleep. Even though it was 1 a.m.
Wait, and it's here that we'll stop tonight. Because that is far too amazing a scene to finish on. Here are the credits. Thank you so much for checking out our lovely little full cast show. Kerrick will be back next week to continue in the role of Andrew, probably to have some sort of gigantic, big emotional scene where he once again reveals his love and they kiss. Or not. Who knows? From me to you, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you as well to Autumn, Paige, Velvet, Marisa, and Nicole this week. And I cannot wait to see what happens with the last 100-ish pages we have to go. Until next time.